G'day, my name is Felix. Welcome to my little corner of backrooms. Today we're checking out more 14 Days with You. Let's get into it. The walk to the parking lot was slow and uneventful, but I didn't seem to mind. I was having fun with Ren as we playfully nudged each other along the sidewalk, and the banter we shared helped brighten the mood. Eventually, though, things started to wind down, and I found myself trying to fill the silence. So, Teo and Eleanor, huh? Somehow, the conversation keeps falling back to the pair. I just couldn't understand why. It wasn't like I was actively trying to think about them, though maybe I just needed to rack my brain around it for the thought to leave my mind. A sideward glance in Ren's direction shows that he genuinely was considering my question, if the pursed lip and head tilt were anything to go by, and I couldn't help but chuckle. It sure is a weird combo now that I think about it, but, well, if it works. That's true, I suppose. It's just hard to imagine Nori with someone like Teo. Do you think it's impossible? Being with someone who's not your type? I guess it depends on the person. I see. What about you, Ren? Think you could be with someone who might not be your type? No, absolutely not. Oh, damn, dude! Okay. Wasn't expecting you to say that. His response is immediate, and it has me turning my head in my pink-haired companion's direction. I mean, you're my type. Why would I want to be with someone who isn't you? Oh, but this isn't about me, right? You asked about Eleanor and Teo. Yeah. Well, do you think they should be a couple? I choose to ignore the way Ren evades my initial question, but I won't lie, his own musing does leave me pondering. Did I think my friend and coworker would be a good couple? Absolutely not, dude. Hypothetically, of course. I was well aware of the fact that the Teodor Alvarado would never settle down with anyone. But still, if anyone would be able to get Teo to change his ways, I'm sure Eleanor could do it. She just has a certain charm about her that makes everyone want to be a better person. I had no doubt that even people like Teo wouldn't be immune to it. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah, it's hard to tell with those two, isn't it? Maybe it's best if we leave it up to destiny. You know, you sound an awful lot like Leon. Why did you frown? Soon enough, our conversation comes to a halt when a sleek black sports bike comes into view. So Ren brought his bike again, huh? Part of me still expected someone like him to just walk everywhere, if I was being honest. If I had known I'd be bringing you home, I would have brought my car instead. You have a car too? But I recently loaned it to a friend, actually. Oh. You have friends? Oh, really? Yeah, he's out of town though. I doubt I'll be getting it back anytime soon. Anyway, Ren retrieves a spare helmet from the side of his motorbike and turns to me once more. All too familiar with this routine, I let him slip the helmet on and secure it tightly. I still wasn't used to riding his bike, but I put the fear aside for the prospect of more free food and a warm home. Somehow, we managed to make it to Ren's apartment complex in record time. I guess he really wasn't lying when he said it wasn't that far. And unlike Teo, Ren lawfully parks his bike in the designated area before guiding me toward the elevator with a spring in his step. Tacky music plays as we slowly ascend to the upper levels, though Ren only makes it even more awkward by staring at the back of my head the entire time. I can practically feel his eyes on me as I try to ignore them, so I offer him a forced grin while we both wait for the elevator doors to open. Once they do, I let out a sigh of relief. The same gaudy interior greets us, and I still find myself trying to process how Ren could afford such a lavish place. Too lost in thought, I aimlessly followed my pink-haired companion as he leads me toward his door, before bumping into his back when he abruptly stops in his tracks. Concerned at his odd and sudden reaction, I glance up only to find him staring intently at the floor. Following Ren's gaze, I notice the light coming from beneath the crack of one of the doors, and weirdly enough, the faintest hint of black smoke seems to be emerging from there as well. What the fuck? Smoke? Did they burn their food or something? Confused, I look to Ren to see if he has any better ideas. Is there something wrong? Oh, no, I didn't realize someone had moved in. I thought I was the only one who lived on this floor. Not a fan of sharing, are we? Not particularly. Still, I guess everything should be fine as long as I don't. Never mind. Before I can question it, Ren continues walking until we arrive at our destination. Watching him dig through his pockets for his keycard only reminds me to check my phone, but when I reach for it, I notice that my own pockets are empty. What? A wave of realization hits me as the panic slowly starts to creep in. Oh shoot! In my flustered state, I barely noticed Ren turning to me with a curious look on his face. I think I left my phone back at the aquarium. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I placed it on the shelf when Teo pulled me into that closet earlier. Ren seems to bristle at that. Hey, don't worry. I'll go back and get it. The aquarium should still be open anyway. I'm so sorry about this. Ren unlocks the door and gestures for me to go inside. Don't worry about it, Felix. Here, make yourself at home. I'll be back before you know it. Ren doesn't give me a chance to say goodbye before he's speeding off towards the direction of the elevator. Excuse me. Leaving me to my own devices, I awkwardly step inside his apartment and take everything in. Everything looks the same as the last time I was here, down to the cold marble flooring and gaudy furniture scattered about the place. And although I didn't notice it last time, the mirror in his entryway looked very similar to mine. The only difference was that his was hung up correctly. Cute. Well, at least now I know what mine will look like once I put in the effort to fix it. But until then, it's going to stay crookedly placed on my wall and forever taunt me. Saving that mental note for later, I recall my steps towards Ren's spacious lounge and take everything in. Yep, still the same grandiose furniture, sterile smell, and... Wait a second. Oh? What is it? Looking closer, it's then when I notice a large desk pressed against one of the corners in the room, tucked and hidden away from view. It didn't look brand new, though I don't recall seeing it in that spot last time I was here either. The desk could have been here since the beginning for all I know. I can't help the twang of curiosity that hits me as I draw closer towards it, and with the desk now close enough to see, I can easily make out the shape of some kind of art station, as well as Ren's laptop still open to the side. Papers were scattered all over the rest of the table, and another tentative step closer brings its contents into view. Were they rough drafts for a webcomic? I had an inkling Ren would be into them, given his interest in AOG, but I had no idea he created a few of his own. One book in particular, however, piqued my interest with its unique cover, though it might have just been the book lover in me. It was thick and worn out, yet it looked like it was well taken care of. I noticed some kind of smudge marks, possibly red paint. Sure, red paint, let's go with that. Stained the front of the cover, as well as some sort of circular, indented notch right in the center. Does something go inside here? The contraption is foreign to me, and whatever fit inside must have been how you unlock it. But as I turned the book in my hand, I noticed that the latch was already detached, and a few loose pages spill out onto the desk. Ah! With a panicked cry, I quickly scoop the papers back up and open the book to stuff them back inside. But as I do, something else catches my eye. Weren't these sketches from Always With You? I could easily make out the male lead's hairstyle anywhere. After all, it was similar to Ren's, or rather Haruko's. Yet this one had a contrasting shade of black instead of pink. Maybe another character then? Strange. I don't remember seeing any similar black-haired characters in the webcomic. Still, the likeness of the art style was insane, and Always With You was the only webcomic published by the anonymous author. Their debut into the online industry was a huge success because of it. So, fan art? It was oddly cute to think that Ren might have made his own self-insert character, though if I were any better at art, I probably would have done the same. Curiosity once again gets the better of me, or was it my hyperfixations, and I was half tempted to peek through the rest of the book to learn more. Should I? Save. I want to be nosy. Investigate the drawings. I can't resist the urge to flip through the pages, and when I do, my suspicions are confirmed. There, right in front of my eyes, were the all too familiar characters from Always With You, yet something about them felt almost uncanny. They didn't look exactly like the actual characters from the webcomic, though I could sense a certain familiarity from them. And upon closer inspection, most of the drawings were the main character and his love interest doing various lovey-dovey things together, though other drawings were depicted as rather ominous and gloomy. Which was ironic, considering that the male lead was usually referred to as gloomy by the narrator. He was often withdrawn and greatly preferred to lurk in the shadows instead of interacting with others, so the name really fit. But still, seeing my beloved Gloomy in some of these drawings, surrounded by hundreds of creepy eyes, harsh scribbles, and more of that deep red ink, honestly made me feel bad for him. Why was he being drawn in a dark room with nothing in it, almost like an endless void with no exit in sight? Figuring I'd seen enough, or perhaps I just didn't want to see one of my comfort characters so alone, I turn my eyes away from the pages and close the book. When I do, I make sure to shut the latch properly and place it back on the table. But as I do so, I accidentally knock over one of the ink bottles, which stains the desk a deep shade of black. Oh shit! I frantically skitter about to look for some papered towels, and eventually settle on some toilet paper from Ren's bathroom. By some miracle, it easily lifts the mark from the desk, though it only seems to transfer onto my skin instead. Oh, great. Just when I thought it couldn't get any worse. Taking a shower? Takes a solid minute or two of scrubbing until I'm satisfied, and once I'm sure no stains are left on the table, I haphazardly throw the toilet paper into the trash can and wash my hands in the kitchen sink. Oh, okay. That alone takes another 5 minutes of scrubbing and rinsing, but I somehow managed to lift all of the ink from my skin and wash it down the drain. After all this, I definitely learned my lesson not to snoop ever again. With an embarrassed sigh, I plopped myself on the couch and let out a groan. A small part of me knew Ren wouldn't get upset over something so small, but still. I don't want him to know I was snooping through his things, much less trying to learn more about his personal hobbies and interests. The queasy feeling in the pit of my stomach only seemed to worsen at that. I contemplate running away from such a confronting scene and locking myself at home for the rest of my life. Forget my phone, I could always buy a new one. I'm sure I still had my spare one still lying around in a box collecting dust somewhere. Sure, the screen was cracked, but it'd still get the job done. Still, couldn't help but feel like I was making a mountain out of a molehill. And there was the looming threat of a potential stalker waiting for me to come home. Maybe it was best if I stayed here after all. With that thought in mind, I settle further into Ren's plush couch and anxiously await his return. I can hear the faint ticking of a clock from somewhere in the endless maze of an apartment, alongside the occasional humming of the central heater he turned on before he left. So he finally figured out how it worked. Aside from that, the silence is almost deafening, and I have half a mind to reach for the remote and turn on the television. Surely it wouldn't hurt. I mean, Ren did say I could make myself at home. You know, potential snooping aside. Perhaps it was to get rid of the guilty feeling forming in my stomach, but I quickly find myself shaking my head to dismiss those thoughts and reaching for the remote on the table. Flicking through the channels, I land on one in particular, and although the signal is weak, I could discern the picture of some news reporter in a blazer that looked far too flimsy to keep her warm. She's droning on about local happenings in Corlin Bay before a familiar backdrop comes on the screen and captures my full attention. Oh? The entrance to the aquarium appears on the television as ambulance lights flash and sirens go off in the background. Oh my god. What happened? There's a somber expression on the reporter's face as she communicates with her counterpart, who is currently at the location. Victim's body has just been found, mauled and ripped apart, in one of the shark tanks. Authorities have confirmed that it is the body of Christian Doe's son and sole heir to the corporate giant Tech Marketing. Teo? Is it Teo? How though? How? Ren was with me when Teo left. Also believed that was self-inflicted accident. Here on the scene with us, we have the mayor's chairman and the mother of the victim, Kaori Alv, to talk about. The TV turns to static, and I quickly reach for the remote to find another channel. Another news show pops up, this time showing a grainy black and white recording of CCTV footage taken from the aquarium. And though it's hard to make out, the footage depicts a person pacing around on the wooden deck until the upper half of their body is just out of frame. The rest of their body was still in view though, being illuminated by their phone screen as they fiddled with it. Then all of a sudden, the person immediately drops it, almost as if it was too hot to touch, and takes a step back. They must have lost their footing or something, as they end up tumbling into the tank and submerging themselves underwater. the footage cuts out shortly after, seemingly too inappropriate to air on live television, as noted by the reporter. I let out a breath I hadn't known I'd been holding and let reality sink in. I was just at that aquariums. I looked at those sharks with everyone just hours prior. Everything felt all too surreal in this moment, and I suddenly wish I had my phone to text Eleanor and Teo to see if they saw the news. With my heartbeat still hammering loudly in my chest, I end up unconsciously turning the television off to avoid hearing about more heavy topics. Seeing all this recent talk of gore and murder on TV, it makes me feel... Oh my god, hang on. We could go full unhinged? Ooh. Sometimes it's fun to make the silly, unhinged decisions in games, because you wouldn't do it in real life, right? So why not experience it through a game? That's my logic anyway. So, let's see what happens if we decide to be fully unhinged. I guess a morbid part of me honestly liked hearing about all these sickening topics on the news. Though it made sense, considering how I'd been all but encompassed by it while living in the city. Everywhere I went, I was surrounded by petty crimes, selfish assholes who call themselves my friends, and even the stench of death. I always thought moving to Corlin Bay would give me a break from it. After all, everyone always says nothing bad happens here, but I guess I was wrong. I suppose it wasn't all bad. I have supportive friends now, an amazing boss and coworker, and a timid library patron who goes to great lengths to keep me safe. Man, I guess I never truly appreciated Ren's thoughtfulness until this moment. Yes, Ren's thoughtfulness, and not the fact that he is the danger. He's done so much for me these past few days, and not once has he asked me for anything in return. And as if manifesting him with my thoughts, I hear the telltale sounds of the front door unlocking before Ren shuffles inside and flicks on all the lights. In one of his hands is my beloved phone, alongside a bag of delicious-smelling takeout and an angelfish plushie peeking out from another. And almost like a puppy, Ren immediately makes his way over to me, still perched on the couch, before depositing the toy in my hands. Felix, were you sitting in here without any lights? Sorry, I should have turned them on before I left. But I brought some food with me. I figured you might be hungry. I don't really have much food in the pantry right now. Also, well, Ren looks as though he has something deeply serious he wants to say, and I had some kind of inclination as to what it might be. Something happened at the aquarium, Felix. You might want to... Actually, maybe we should move this conversation to the kitchen. To the kitchen? Why the kitchen? Okay, I already know, Ren. You do? About... Yeah, I saw it on the news. So it's true then? Someone really did die? I didn't really stick around to find out once the first cop car pulled up, but I don't know, something doesn't add up. What do you mean? Ren looks conflicted with what he wants to say. I passed by that shark tank when I went to retrieve your phone and I didn't exactly stop to look, but I didn't see any dead bodies in there. Look, I know we said some incriminating things today, but I swear, it wasn't serious, and Angel, I would never, I could tell that Ren was taking this hard, and how he wouldn't meet my gaze and his shoulders seemed to shake. I wasn't the one who killed him. Well, usually I would blame you, but you were with me the whole time, so... Except for when you went to get my phone. It's okay, I believe you. You do? It was like a weight was taken off his shoulders, and without thinking, I find myself stepping closer to bring Ren into a comforting hug. I know you, Ren. You'd never hurt a fly. Okay, well, I don't know about that. And I saw what happened on TV. They fell into that tank. The reporters say it was a self-inflicted accident. Man, you really are an angel. I can feel his hands clenched around the back of my shirt before he pulls away with a forlorn expression. He attempts to put on a smile for my sake, though I could see it right through it. Yeah, why don't we eat something to get our minds off this? So it really is Teo? That's very, what's the word? That's very convenient. Are you feeling up to it? I know this might be a lot for you to stomach right now. Yeah, some food might be nice. Great, let me get some plates so we can eat then. As Ren lifts himself from the back of the sofa, he makes sure to hand my cell phone back to me as well before heading off toward the kitchen. Now reunited with my beloved phone once more, I unlock it and check for any notifications. One update in particular lets me know that the security camera I ordered had been successfully delivered, and that alone makes me feel safe enough to return to my apartment, should I change my mind about staying here. With a satisfied hum, I quickly pocket my phone, lest I lose it again, and follow Ren into the kitchen. I watch as he turns on all the lights in there as well, before he places the takeout on the countertop and stops to sniff the air. Uh-oh. What's that smell? Oh shit, I almost forgot about the ink I hastily threw away in the trash. In retrospect, I probably should have flushed it down the toilet or something instead. Oh, about that, let me save. Okay, let's be honest. I figured it'd be best if I simply come clean. After all, Ren didn't deserve to be lied to, much less have a guest he trusted snoop through his belongings while he was away. Man, if only I could say the same thing about my stalker. Before I could dwell on it any further, Ren's worried look pulls me from my thoughts and back to the present. Well, here goes nothing. I accidentally spilled some of your ink earlier. You what? Everything now long forgotten, Ren rounds the corner within seconds and peers down at me with soft eyes. Are you okay? It didn't stain you, did it? Let me see. He was still concerned about me? I watch as Ren reveals more of his hands from within his sleeves of a cardigan to hold and inspect my own. His blue eyes are full of concern as I feel the rough pads of his thumbs caress my skin. Once again, I'm reminded of the ring on his finger, and I can't help but ask. That ring, it must be special to you, huh? My ring? Ren follows my gaze to his hand before awkwardly pulling away and scratching at his jaw. Yes, it's a ring I made when I was younger. You made it? I'm surprised you noticed it. It's on your hand, dude. This ring, it means a lot to me. I don't know what I'd do if I lost it. It's very pretty. What about the one around your neck? That's... Ren clams up the moment I meekly reach out to touch it, and he stares down at me with wide, cautious eyes. His own fingers wrap around my wrist, though he makes no effort to remove my hand from his necklace. In fact, he only seems to hold them in place as he peers at me. Feigning confidence, I run my fingers across the cold metal of his ring and take in all the small details. Much like the ring on Ren's finger, the one around his neck also had a handmade feel to it, if the faint scratches and chips were anything to go by, though the craftsmanship was no less impressive. There also seemed to be some kind of inscription inside the ring, but it was difficult for me to read due to the glare coming from the kitchen light. Part of me wants to pull it closer to get a better view, though I doubt it'd be a good idea to yank Ren down by his necklace, especially considering how he was already hunching over enough as it is. Still, I couldn't stop my budding curiosity from putting one of my fingers inside the ring to see if it'd fit. And almost immediately, Ren stumbles forward as his fingers gently squeeze my wrists. Do you want to try it on? Before Ren can speak, a loud booming sound erupts from outside the apartment and startles both of us. Man, was it seriously about to start raining again? You're joking. With a sigh, I abruptly pull away and glance out the large ceiling-to-floor windows. Dark clouds were rolling in from the distance, though there weren't any telltale signs of rain yet. Though the ominous black smoke was new. I didn't know the condensation got this bad. We weren't even that high up for fog to appear. Was this some kind of sign? Still, it wouldn't do to be stuck waiting out yet another storm again, so I glance in Ren's direction and offer a sympathetic smile. Maybe I should head home before it starts raining. Okay. Why would we go? Let's just stay the night. It's really best for me to just wait out the storm somewhere safe. If Ren was willing, I wouldn't mind spending the night here. Actually, would it be okay if I crashed at your place tonight? His gaze was still on the black smoke outside the window. It took a gentle nudge and the mention of his name to get Ren's attention once more. Why is it? I haven't done any... yes, of course, it's no problem. I'll go get your stuff set up right now. Here, go ahead and start eating while I go prepare your room. Thanks, Ren. It's great that I can rely on you for anything. Yeah, of course. You can rely on me to keep you safe. His cheeks immediately flushed at my words, but I could tell that something was still troubling him. Though before I get the chance to ask, he's already leaving the kitchen and meandering down the hallway. Why is he acting so strange, dude? Stranger than usual. But just as Ren passes by the couch, I notice how his gaze shifts to his little art section hidden in the corner of the lounge room. He casts a curious glance in my direction before taking a step towards it. Was this where you spilled the ink? Sorry, I didn't mean to. And it wasn't like I was going through your stuff, I only looked at the table, I promise. I see. So that explains why it's... With an unreadable expression, Ren switches from looking impassive to determined in a matter of seconds. He reaches for something on the table, though it was hard to see what it was from where I was sitting in the kitchen. You keep on eating, I'll join you shortly. And with that, he disappears into the darkness of his apartment. Deciding there's no use in overthinking his eccentric reactions or dwelling over the fact that I got caught red-handed for being nosy, I pick up a fork and begin to dig into my food. The taste of something both sweet and savory floods my taste buds and I let out a pleased hum. Man, was takeout always this good? It only takes 3 more modest bites before I practically scarfed down my meal. The flavor was immaculate and I made a mental note to ask Ren what exactly he ordered the moment he returns. But now that I think about it had been a while since he left and Ren still hasn't come back yet. It had surely been more than 20 minutes by now and his food was starting to grow cold. Was he really mad after all? Or maybe he needed help? Whether or not it was the guilt still ebbing and flowing inside me, I put my food aside and tried to locate the eccentric guy in his stupidly large apartment. But, as I tiptoe down the hallway, the very same black smoke from earlier rolls out from underneath one of the doors, making my mind grow fuzzy and my legs feel like jelly. What the... Confused and slightly dazed, I lean against the wall for support and weakly call out Ren's name. What was happening to me? A lurching feeling settles within the pit of my stomach, and just before I topple over, strong, scarred arms reach out and catch me. What is happening? What's going on? Era? What? What happened? There we go. Don't worry, Felix. I won't let you get my bad ending. So, don't hide from me. Why are you hiding from me? I won't hurt you, so don't be scared. Don't you realize we're meant to be together? I love you, Felix. I love you so much. What? Okay, Okay, well, I think we'll leave that here for today, but I will try going back next time and seeing if we can make a different choice. Maybe we had to go home, I'm not sure. That was definitely something. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.